What's up, guys, and welcome to the Truth with Jenn podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Litchfield. Much like you, I wear many hats. I'm a business owner, coach, speaker, wife, mom, friend, and much more. In this podcast, I will teach you how to love yourself, respect yourself, and self-validate so that you can make your own decisions. Listen, y'all, it's time to do the damn thing. This is The Truth with Jenn. Hey guys, I would love to be your transformational coach to help you get the results you desire. If you're interested in working together one-on-one, I'm offering you a free 30-minute coaching consultation call to see if we're a good fit for one another. To get your free coaching consultation call scheduled, send me an email at jen@jenlitchfield.com, and my team and I will be sure to get back with you within 48 hours. I look forward to being your coach and helping you grow. Cheers. Welcome back to this week's episode of The Truth with Jenn. I have the pleasure of actually having a different producer with me here today. It is none other than Trey.
It's my pleasure, actually. And the pleasure is all mine. I feel like I'm finna learn a lot on this episode today.
I appreciate that.
Most definitely.
that. You're very motivational. Like, you're just like, and you're doing good. Like, you got a very beautiful smile. Like, I'm feeling it. It's good.
You know what? I'm a big believer in truth. I don't lie to people. If you were doing bad, I would let you know. I promise you. But you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
To be honest with you, you are doing a really great job.
Thank you. I'm a fan of the truth too, as the name of the podcast would say, you know?
Exactly. It's a good thing to lean on.
Yes. Because I think I'm just a believer that I can handle anything. I think anyone can handle anything. Mm-hmm. But just tell me what it is, right? Like, let me know what's on my plate.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. Okay. So, this week's episode, Mr. Trey is going to help me out, and we are going to talk about how to get yourself unstuck. So, as we all have experienced in our life at one point or another, if you're over the age of 20, I believe, there are times where you just don't feel like doing what you know you should be doing. And the problem with that is the more and the longer the more the momentum builds, and the longer time passes, and the more to-do items that build up and then just eventually go away, because the opportunity is going to go away if you don't address it. It's hard. It gets hard. You can slip into maybe even possibly a depression. You can start having financial troubles. And all the while, you're just digging yourself a hole that you got to know that you're going to want out of one day. Right, Trey?
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. I think with a lot of people in my generation, too, we are so guilty of that. We are so guilty of just procrastinating and not actually like taking action. You know, I think that's a big issue that we face.
Why do you think that is for y'all's generation?
You know what? I think people want everything now. I think people don't necessarily like put in the work to have what they truly like aspire for. But I think we live in like such a microwave society. I think people just really want everything to happen right now instead of putting that work in. And it really intimidates them to a certain extent.
Yeah, they want the reputation without the repetition.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I loved it. That sounds really good. That's exactly right.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like we are an instant gratification society, but I've never heard the concept microwave. Would you say microwave society?
Microwave society, yeah. Like it's everything has to be instant, quick, now.
That is the damn truth. That's the truth. That's so funny. Well, and that's the thing. Yes, we can dig ourselves a hole. And if you're only motivated by, if you only want to take action when the finish line is right here, right? Like 2 inches in front of you, and you can reach out and touch it. Mm-hmm. The problem, you can do that. You can set yourself up that way. But even though you're setting your life up that way, those 2-inch finish lines are not fulfilling you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So you don't even do those 2-inch finish lines because that ain't what you came here for.
Exactly.
And so this is about getting unstuck. How can you take inspired action opposed to having to try to feel motivated? Mm-hmm. There is a difference. So we're going to discuss the difference, and we're just give you some ways in which that has helped me personally get out of a funk a time or two in my life. Whether that be postpartum after baby number 1 or 2, Maybe even just as now I can see looking back, I was going through just a personal transformation.
Yeah.
The woman that you see here today, she was being born.
I liked it. That sounds very inspirational too.
Good. Good.
I liked it.
But there was some dark moments and some dark days, and there was a lot of self-doubt that was embedded in there. And the reason I teach, and I believe I'm a teacher to my core, is so that I can help inspire others either avoid the mistakes I've made or not, because you're going to make them. Like, everybody's going to, look, that's life. That's all. We're going to trip and fall, right? But when you do those, most importantly, I want to help you get up. And not get up to survive. I'm talking about get up and live your damn life.
Yeah.
If one thing I know for sure is this society is very forgiving. I think I spoke about this on a couple episodes ago, but I mean, America loves an underdog story.
Oh, yeah. True enough.
They do. And I think that is, they say that there's such thing as success, being fearful of success.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true.
I've actually not heard that, being fearful of success.
Yeah.
What do you mean exactly by that?
So it's a lot of women, specifically women leaders, will speak to that because they'll say that their significant other, or just society, just in general, the positions that are held in the highest of power, making the biggest decisions that are impacting the most people, right? You and I and everyone else in this building and in DFW.
Right.
And the country.
Right.
Hell, and the world. They're men.
Okay, right.
And what's one thing men hate to feel?
Not like a man, like less of a man.
Yeah.
To be told what to do.
That and what is disrespected.
Disrespected, exactly.
Less of a man, that feeling is like, oh, that's disrespectful. Well, your wife's success, your girlfriend's success, whomever's a female success, we got to shake that gender bias of, oh, that is a sign of disrespect because there's a female sitting in that leadership role versus a male.
I get you.
And it's like, no, but a lot of women, they know the ramifications. They know the consequences of their man not feeling like a man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, of course.
And so we just naturally, we're nurturers. I want people to feel good in my presence. I do have a ton of empathy. I have a ton of compassion, and it's just a lot. Like, it's a lot. Like, if I see someone in distress, it's 1,000% going to affect me.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Everything that's going on, like, it's really like, it's emotionally exhausting.
For sure. I would hate to be in a position to where I feel like I have to sacrifice what I want in order to make someone else feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Especially success-wise. You know, like that sets you up for the future. That sets you up for your family. So to potentially jeopardize all of that, my future, just to make sure that my partner feels secure or like more of a man, I should say, that in a woman's position, that would just be so just boggling to me.
Well, it's exhausting.
Exactly.
Because what will happen is a lot of women will pursue it, but what they'll do is somehow they're wearing literal like Superwoman hero cape. And I mean, I have a lot on my plate even still because my husband's job's demanding too. But I just straight up had to like have a conversation with him, which is because I did get stagnant. I did feel like I felt like I was so overwhelmed and I was failing at all facets of my life. Business owner, just not even necessarily like the statement at the end of the month, just like I didn't feel I was getting to deliver the value I wanted to. I wasn't putting out the content and the quality that I require of myself. So if I don't have time to do that, I just won't do it.
Okay.
And done is better than perfect. So I have to learn that too. And that's a part of the lesson here too. But
I think you said something right there.
Yeah, done is better than perfect.
Okay. I like that.
So you have to be willing to do the bad work, to get to the better work. You got to start.
I like that. That's real. No, that's so true.
It is so true. And as far as women go, I feel like a lot of women are going to be gravitated toward this podcast. And I've kind of caught myself, Trey, like, I don't want to like turn anybody off from the message. Mm-hmm. But then I find it's like, but then I'm adding words and I don't want to dilute the content.
I get you. Either.
Mm-hmm. But I think at the end of the day, this is a message, and just my overall tone is for everyone.
Absolutely. You have to, it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning of the show. You have to give the whole truth. You have to give absolutely, unequivocally, just 100% the realest talk that you can. Because at the end of the day, either somebody is going to respect it or they're going to walk away from it. Yeah. And I respect somebody like that, me personally.
Thank you. Well, I'm attracting the right people. But yes, there's a lot of women where it's like, but I straight up had to have a conversation with my man. I'm like, look, it is not night. I was listening to a podcast. It was a podcast. I can't even, if I knew, kind of remember, I would cite it. Mm-hmm. But I listened to so many podcasts and read so many books and stuff. But it was a podcast, and there was this couple, husband and wife, been married for years, mm-hmm. having this conversation, and actually they're going around to big corporations and having this talk and helping people with this, which is, it's not 1940.
Right.
Like, we're a dual income household. Mm. How in the F can I be responsible for all these time-sensitive matters, such as picking my kids up from school or daycare, feeding them, mm-hmm. getting them to bed, right? Like mm-hmm. all of the things that, even if you say, okay, he does the yard work, she does this. Well, men's role, whatever. The dude's role.
Right.
That stuff isn't time sensitive.
Absolutely.
You know, if this grass don't get mowed, this kid don't starve to death.
Right. No, that's true.
Right. So it's like, so yes, it may be the illusion of 50-50, but is it though?
Right.
And that will affect a woman's growth, professional growth. That will affect her career, and that will affect her motivation and inspiration, because you don't want to, I never want to underdeliver. Mm-hmm. So I just won't do.
Right.
So the alternative I've learned in getting unstuck was having a conversation with him saying, hey, I can't do it all. I ain't never been good at laundry my whole damn life. When you met me, I was single AF and I had a laundry basket. Now we add 2 kids.
Right.
Towels.
Right.
Bedding.
Yeah. Do you have any dogs, any pets?
We don't.
Okay. So that would have been that much more.
We had a goldfish, but R.I.P. He gone.
R.I.P. Goldie.
Yeah. Got to go. But so finally I was like, dude, don't bitch about the laundry one more time. I ain't never not had laundry when it was just me. Mm-hmm. Now you want to times it by 2?
Right.
Why would you think? And I'm growing my career. Like, I have more professional responsibility and more dreams and goals I'm aspiring to, and positions that I've created for myself, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm in the right positions to take action. I can't put up with your bullshit talking about this laundry. Mm-hmm. If you feel free to do it. You know?
For sure.
And this seems like off topic, but it's really not, ladies. It's really not, ladies. It's really not, gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Because I do think I'll attract men and women that are just mindful.
Absolutely.
And if you can hear this, I'm telling you, you'll have a happier relationship, a happier marriage. And y'all, ultimately, the things that are holding you back and making you stuck and making your finances not being what they want to be, the time together not being what they want to be, there's a building period in anything. There's a building process. And so for you ladies, you need to communicate and voice, hey man, I want to do this thing. It's not like, what do you think? Because you need to know your audience.
Right.
If he's oh honey, no. What if,
Is that a direct impersonation?
No, not my man.
Not of you.
We won't be married.
But I'm just saying, have you seen someone actually do that? Wow.
There was so much shade, like Canopy just like, she's like, can we talk? And he's like, you're gonna fail at it. You suck at life. You know, no. I feel they don't say those words, but that's what it feels like to us intrinsically.
That's what they're giving off, basically.
Correct.
Yeah, of course.
When you can't support someone's dreams and goals, that is how that feels.
Exactly. Energy is a real thing. Feeling someone's energy is a real thing.
That's more real than the words.
That's true. No, that's
What'd you say?
100% true.
What did your Grady say? She said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
How you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't fake that. You can't do something with love if it ain't coming from a place of love.
That's real. That's real. One thing it's hard to fake is emotion. You know, it's hard to really like just kind of fake that natural emotion. It always comes off as unnatural when you do that. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And people disingenuous. Like people are like, nope.
Exactly.
And so that's a big looming issue with people pursuing their goals and dreams. And this is on both sides of the fence here, men and women. It's both. Like women, if your man is wanting to pursue something that's going to long-term have great potential and freedom for your family, more time together, right? Like if you're taking a dip in the money immediately, but long-term gain, you got to get off your soapbox too. You got to get off your scarcity mindset too. You got to get off your controlling issues as well, even if you got kids. Because just because you have a kid doesn't mean you got to go to a cubicle and crawl up and die. Right? Like, you know, they say most men die at the age of 30, but they aren't buried until they're 80.
Oh, man. I did not know that. I'm 27 right now, so I got a few years left if I'm going to die.
Don't.
Not at all.
Do not.
I have no plans on dying at 30.
And so like to what we first were talking about, you said that your generation they procrastinate and get stuck.
Heavily.
And there's good and bad to that, but the good of that I see is, dude, y'all are free thinkers.
Oh yeah.
There's additional information out there. Y'all were loved on as kids.
Right.
Think about it. Like we have our grandparents that, how often do you even still hear to this day that someone's parent passed and never actually spoke, articulated the words, I love you. I'm proud of you, son.
Right.
I love you. You're doing great.
Right. I hear that a lot from the older crowd or older generation.
Like our parents' age, right?
Yeah.
50, 60, right? Like at 40, 50, 60, not like 50, 60. And it's like, but so that's a testament though to, and they'll even like give grace. It's so beautiful too, because even in the moment that they're hurting, they offer grace to their parents and say, you know, I knew it. And he did the best he could. She did the best she could with what she had, which is so beautiful. And that's so true. That's compassion.
Yeah.
And empathy, but still, you know, they were never told. They were, you know, the people, they're seeking their approval their whole life.
Of course. It's one thing to know it. It's another thing to hear it as well, though. Like to actually hear those words, I think that can really impact anybody. To actually hear the 3 letters, I love you, or 3 words, I love you. That it's one thing to know that they love you, but to actually hear somebody say that to you and mean it and feel it, it means the world to anybody.
Why do you think a parent leaves it up to questioning that they don't actually say it, those 3 words?
I think there's a lot of reasons. To be honest, my biggest reason I think though is just because they never had that.
Yes.
They never heard those words. They don't know how to express those feelings because they weren't taught that.
You can't give what you don't have.
Exactly. My grandma used to say that as well.
She's a smart lady.
Yeah.
You can do bad. But there's a lot that have found their way there because there's a ton more information out there. Also, we've advanced as a society.
Yep.
Things have become faster and easier. Like we got cell phones,
right?
Versus mail, carrier mail, right? Like there are things that have been sped up to our benefit, and that has allowed to free up the capacity to self-improve,
right?
And to grow and to learn and to read a book or 2, or, you know, have more time to have community and just see, like a lot of times if you have a good group of friends around you or even good coworkers, good peers, colleagues,
like Derek.
Yeah. They'll rub off their goodness. You can't help but want to be more real, better, bring your highest self around them. That those people draw that, you expect more out of yourself in their presence.
Exactly.
And that's what a coach does, by the way. As a coach, just as a human being, like it can be a complete stranger and they tell me something and it's like, you can do, why aren't you going after that? Like, why are you putting up with that? You know?
Right.
But doing it in a respectful manner so that you don't want to shut them down. But y'all have been loved on more. Y'all aren't buying into the whole, hey, go work here for 60 years. And this is what you need to do. That's the proper thing, the honorable thing to do for your family so that you can provide to them and create that security. Because 08 happened, right? Right. The truth came out.
The bubble popped.
The bubble popped, and that bubble that's false information. That's false information. In 08, after 08, so many startup companies started happening. So many entrepreneurs, so many people, little side hustles. Like that's been happening over and over and over again. I think there's something like 170,000 new companies are established. Startup companies are established. And I'm not talking about startup like tech in Silicon Valley. I'm talking like whether it be an Etsy shop.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's 170,000 people trying to do the damn thing. And I love that.
Yeah.
The statistics of that failing, right? Like that sucks. And a lot of those numbers are women. But the push is for everyone is men and women. We got to support one another. You can't expect instant gratification, but you can expect to be happy. Y'all's generation expects to be happier.
Yeah.
I effing love that.
I think there's a lot of truth in the fact of people in the older generation were told, go out, get a job, make money, stay somewhere for a long period of time, and really put in roots somewhere. And it's not that my generation was not told that. It's more so that though we were also told to look for your passion, find something that you are passionate about, and then the money and the longevity will come because you like what you do. You like what you do. And
you'll be happier.
Exactly.
You'll make way more money, way more doors and opportunities are going to open. When think about that though. Why is that? Because when you are happy, right? Like when you are happy and fulfilled and grateful, your mind's open, right? You're happy, you're smiling, you're approachable.
Yeah.
You're articulating your thoughts. You're contributing to the conversation.
Exactly.
When you're unhappy in your cubicle or like if you don't feel safe to even share your ideas, maybe you are in the industry that you always dreamed of, but you're not in a environment that's conducive to your growth, then it's time to bounce.
Right.
I'm not saying bounce right now. You know, it's always they always say that it's easier to find a job when you already have one. And there's some truth to that. I do believe that sometimes it's better for your own mental psyche to bounce. But yeah, like there's times where you are in the position that you always dreamed of, but you're still feeling unfulfilled. And that's just, you got to understand that at the end of the day, all of this comes down to, if you're feeling stuck, you might be in the right place with the right people surrounding you, but it's you. Or you're in the right place, wrong people surrounding you, and it's technically them, but it's always about you. But it's you who needs to omit yourself from the situation. Start seeking other opportunities, other things where you can contribute, other companies where they see you as an asset, not just a stick figure, not just a numbers game. To hell with that shit.
Yeah.
Don't every single one of us deserves better than trying to check somebody else's damn box. I mean, that's so true. That's so hard.
That's true.
And if you give yourself that permission to say, hey, hang on, this is what I need to do here. I'm feeling unfulfilled. I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling unfulfilled. I know I want to do this, but my mind's bogged down. I feel like I might be potentially in the right arena. But I just messed up too many times. I up, and my to-do list is times a million, and I don't even know where to start.
Right.
This is where you start, guys. Okay. First, just get real with yourself. Just get real. Get real with yourself. If you're not waking up on time, wake up on time. If you're working from home, which many of us are, wake up, brush your teeth, get a cup of coffee, whatever you do, and get your ass dressed. Get dressed. Get dressed. Ladies, I'm not saying spend your whole day doing your hair and makeup. And then, especially for entrepreneur, a lot of entrepreneurs are going to watch this show. This is early on. We still have baby giraffe legs here. But I believe that I'm going to attract a lot of entrepreneurs, sales managers, that arena, right? Like the no ceiling arena. Like, hell yeah, this shit's mine. Like, let's see. Like, it's on me. It's between me and me. So get dressed, put some clothes on, get out of your room, make your bed so you don't get back in it, get dressed, get up, start getting up on time. Okay. Then what you need to do is really try and stop the momentum. That's the second step. Stop the momentum. That's the first step too, believe it or not, like by making your bed, getting up on time and getting dressed. What you're doing is you're casting a vote. Each time, each decision you make, each action you take, whether it be so small, you're casting a vote for the person you want to be. You're casting a vote for the person you know you are and could be and should be. That's what you're doing. So the best way to get rid of procrastination and fear and the not good enoughs in you is to take action. It's to take action. And you do that. Look, one baby step at a time. We're stopping momentum. You're not just going to go out there and make $100 million real estate deal. You're not going to do that. If you've been sitting on the couch for 3 months, like you can manifest, and I do believe in the power of our mind. But reality is, if you set your ass on the couch for 3 months, you haven't been using your mind. So although I believe you could do that momentum, you wouldn't be where you wouldn't feel stuck. You can't get there from there, right? So it's about just reaching for the next best feeling, the next best thought. The next step up from unstuck is kind of okay, kind of motivated, right? Like, okay, fine. Like I still have 30 million things to do. I'm still broke, whatever. I'm still overweight, but fine. I'll get my shoes on and I'll go walk a mile. I'm not going to jog but I'll walk it. Fine. Right? Right, Trey?
Yeah, I'm definitely not jogging it, but I will briskly walk it.
Mind you, this is an argument you're having with yourself.
Exactly.
But it's you and you. Mm-hmm. It can be you versus you or same team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that.
And we want to blend that inner being, that higher you. We want to pull that. You want to blend those two. You want to blend that soul. You're a soul you're a soul with the body, not a body with the soul. So that's my belief. And I just truly like everyone. I wrap your head around that.
You got deep just then, Jen. You got deep.
It's true though.
Yeah. Very much so. If
you let that, like you're talking about energy, think about it. Like dogs and animals, they can fucking talk. They might bark, but a lion don't speak the same language as a zebra, probably.
Right.
I wouldn't guess.
Right.
But hell, I don't know.
I think not.
They don't talk. Like they know, something ain't right. Mm-hmm. That's energy. That is energy. They also know the weakest one in the pack.
Absolutely.
They ain't talking. They're not like, oh my God, I'm in so much debt. I cheated on my man and like, girl, he's gonna leave me. Like, no, like they just, it's like intrinsic self-worth, intrinsic surrender to living.
Right.
And as a human though, the difference is we do have a conscious mind. We do have choice. We do have desires that are deeper than just meeting our basic needs. And the only way you can feel better when you're feeling stuck is to start taking steps toward the things that you desire. Start taking steps toward achieving the goals you've set out for yourself, personal and professional. And here's the beauty in it is as you take steps toward either or, all areas of your life will get better. All.
Everything starts to fall into place.
Correct. Like my coach always said, my trainer used to say, yo, get the legs in shape. The rest of your body's going to fall in line. Like, because doing squats and stuff. And that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is so true. And for me, I now realize it's like, yo, you're not going to just make these monumental moves. Like if you've been feeling less than, unclear, not sure, second guessing, all that's a waste of energy. You're split energy. So like, you're like, should I do it? Should I not? And you're like, versus no. And then next up, please. Right. It's like, whoop. Next, it's like your next delivery of opportunity is like, whoop.
Right.
Because a no is just as good as a yes. Remember that, guys. When you're making decisions, if you're in sales, if you receive a no from someone, it's just as good as a yes. Because that is a close. You've closed that opportunity. Right? And then you just need to average out, you need to figure out, and you got to detach yourself from that, first of all. And the sooner that you can have the courage and the balls to make that phone call to see and rip the Band-Aid off, like, hey, did they buy a house from a different realtor? Right? I'm in real estate. Did they? Like, if something in me knows, it's like, Jen, just quit sending them birthday cards and call them.
Yeah.
Quit sending them properties. Dude, make the call, hear the bad news, and move on and deal. And then it's not ever about them. It's about me. So then I got to hold the mirror. This happened a few years ago. Then I hold the mirror up. I was very upset. And then I had to hold the mirror up like, everything's just a reflection. What could I have done better? They didn't. What could I have done better?
Right.
Right?
Right. I think a lot of people like let the fear of rejection or let the fear of that no like really influence their decision making. Like they won't get off of that couch because they don't want to hear that no. You know what I mean? But like you said, that no can be a positive in the best way because it gets you going to, okay, what's my next move now? You know, where do I go from here? What do I do now? So that no can actually be the most beneficial thing that you've been told.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I recently had an opportunity in business and just not going to disclose all the details. And we ended up being a no for both. And I just, in my head, in my heart, I was like, oh, it was like the no. To me, I took it like that was the no heard around the world. Because I was like, oh, it's on. Like in myself. Like I like that. And it's no ill will. It was just like,
that fire. That fire ignited in you. I like it.
Yes. But also so much. It was such like a, listen, if you've been dragging your feet and you're afraid to get the rejection that you're not going to, so if it's not already there, if it's not already no, it will be a no because your thoughts. It will be a no because you're the fear that you're projecting because it is an energy world and the law of attraction is in effect just like the law of gravity. You ain't got to believe it, but it's happening. You know, whatever is likened to itself is drawn. And so even if you haven't lost the opportunity yet, you're going to, right? If you ignore your teeth, they're going to go away, right? Like there's certain actions you have to take.
Facts.
And you've got to,
Facts.
you got to brush your damn teeth. Just like you got to make the call, you got to do the follow up. And if you find yourself just not wanting to do that, then I want you to ask yourself this question. What professional responsibilities would not make you roll your eyes when you get the text or the email? Like what responsibilities and opportunities would you just can't even wait to respond to and get on the schedule?
Yeah, I like that. It's a yeah.
Because
I like that.
that's the happiness fuel. That's where your passion resides. So if you feel your days, if you aren't happy in your occupation, if you're unstuck, if you're stuck, and if that's the thing, if you're not passionate about, like I'm very passionate about coaching and speaking and talking about mindset, so passionate. I would do this shit for free, and I am right now, Exhibit A, right? I'm actually paying to talk about it. How about that? But it's because I feel so passionate about it. So what you need to do is, if that's unclear to you, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, don't try to work yourself up. Don't try to answer that question in one day, especially if you're feeling any type of way. You don't even have the capacity right now. And even whatever answer comes to you, it's not going to be the clear answer for the full future, right? So like, start listening into that quiet, subtle voice, that intuition, But just understand that that's going to grow and continue to cultivate the clearer you get. The only way to get clearer, though, is to get in motion, right? Whatever your belief is, it doesn't matter. So like I say, God can't lead if you're not moving. So if you don't want to put it that way, and truly this is the same understanding and belief to me, is I can't lead. My higher being inside of me, what I truly want, can't even show me the way if I'm sitting on the damn couch. I can't have these synchronicities and these rendezvous and these conversations and these happenstances with these people that it seems like a innocent conversation that we're laughing and washing our hands in the girls' bathroom together. Just ironically at lunch, because I accepted an invitation to a lunch with a girlfriend. But later on, we connected and vibed so hard because I'm in a good place. I'm bullshitting with a friend. I'm out of the house, right? There's synergy moving around me. Later on, hell, that lady may have owned the record company, right?
Yeah.
Or the Real News PR, right? Or just whatever. Or just has, even if they aren't, this has happened to me so many times lately, Trey. Even if they're not directly tied to something that would be great and very beneficial to uplift my career, next level, like continue to grow and expand the awareness, like their best friend is, or their dad.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Or their business partner in another venture. Like it's not always laid out black and white. But I think that's for our best. That's for us. That's for us, because if I knew that XYZ was tied to, say, freaking Abraham Hicks, who I want to interview one day, would I act different?
Right.
Would I be so carefree? Would my energy be as inviting and welcoming? Or would I be like, and like, right? Like
Right.
fear of rejection. So like, you don't want to mess it up. You're like, in your head, you'll start thinking, I don't want to make it I don't want to ruin this opportunity, even though it's not even an opportunity yet. But you'd rather just hold back to have the mindset of, okay, well, I'm not ruining for the potential opportunity that'll come around again later.
Right.
Hell no. That later is never promised to you or them that could help you make it happen.
Right.
And most importantly, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. So wisdom comes from experience. Wisdom is extracted from different life experiences. So if you want to be wiser, people ask me all the time, how did you, that's deep, girl. Like, how do you, what happened to you, you know? And of course I got some shit in my past, but also I'm a coach. Also, I'm a people person. Also, I listen and I read books. And I listen to other podcasts, and I truly believe that a growth mindset and to get unstuck, one of the best things that you can do is learn wisdom from other people's experiences, such as this podcast. So if I share a personal story of a failure of mine, you don't have to go through that shit. You already have the wisdom. I'm trying to give you that wisdom. I'm trying to gift that to you. Every good teacher is. It's like, hey, follow in my footsteps, but like, it's like the footsteps over here, but really the footsteps as a teacher that we're trying to provide isn't it's like these, right? Straight versus like the life pattern. And I will disclose, and I am open because I think there's beauty and authenticity and transparency. So you are watching me grow in the process, in the interim, but at the same time, I'm trying to provide you the best of my best and take this wisdom that I'm offering to you and any other person that resonates with you, and let that be yours. Own that for yourself. Let these be your truths. Like, I want my truths to be your truths. And my truth is you can get unstuck. You haven't made any mistake. No, nobody can make a mistake bad enough not to have another chance. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You have not done. No one can do something so wrong that they should be devalued in life. No one cannot be redeemed. And I no longer think of that as like a religious term. I think you need to re-accept yourself. You got to re-trust yourself. You got to learn to re-love yourself so that everyone around you can do those three things too: love, trust, and accept you. But even though they are truly inside them, they have, but you're not letting them love you. You don't feel it. You act differently. You're still trying to put on a persona. You're still trying to put on a front and trying to like showcase material items and not share your struggles and not be real. But you know the truth. And so when you tell those lies, you're hurting yourself because you're losing more and more. You're slipping more and more away from the trust that's the most important, which is self-trust, right? Mm-hmm. You got to re-earn your respect. You got to re-earn your attention span. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like it's just minimal, it's incremental steps along the way, Trey, and just don't feel like nothing can ever be undone. Mm-hmm. I truly don't believe that. You can't get life wrong and you can't get it finished.
I like that. And that's true. That's so true.
And when you accept that, you lose the fear of rejection.
The world opens up.
Because you realize the only way I can do anything is to try. Right. All you got to do is try. You just got to give yourself permission to try. Mm-hmm. You got to give yourself permission to want to get up on time. You got to give yourself permission and the courage to look at your finances and see, okay, what are we dealing with here? Let's gain awareness. Right? So you got to want to. You have to have the want to. And if you're trying to wait to hit rock bottom, which I found myself there a few years ago, not just like emotionally, I just felt like, where is the bottom?
Right.
Like I felt like I needed to find it. And my coach at the time was like, well, rock bottom's subjective. Rock bottom to you and rock bottom to me is two different things. Mm-hmm. Like there's no rock bottom.
Right.
That really stood with me. That really, not that right moment, but like it's all about reflecting. I was like, what does that even mean? Right. Like, I was like, he's right.
Right.
There's not. Like I would say potentially rock bottom is death, but even still, I don't think so, because I think then you actually truly discover all that you are. Mm-hmm. And so even then,
waiting for rock bottoms almost sounds like just you free falling and not having any control, not wanting any control, just not even caring. So when it gets to that point, it's pretty bad, you know?
It is.
It's pretty bad.
It is. The momentum is as such, because even the small things that you do have control over, you don't feel like that's good enough. It's not worth it.
Right.
It's not worth it to try at all. Like, what difference is that going to make?
Right.
Right. Like, what difference is that going to make? Like, if you haven't had sex with your partner in 6 months, the fear of rejection, right? Like, This is going to get real quick. Well, it has been the whole time, but this is going to get deep. This will be personal for some of you. But what you don't realize is he has the fear of rejection too. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, and so you got to try.
Right.
You got to try. And you got to, it's a vulnerability piece. You got to be vulnerable enough to put your hat in the ring for that job opportunity. You got to be vulnerable enough to call that client and maybe salvage the deal. Mm-hmm. You got to be vulnerable enough to say, I love you, even if you've never been told that before. And just know, if it's not returned, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, true. You won't know until you go, you know?
You won't know until you go.
You won't know until you go.
You won't know until you go. But what you won't know is their response. Mm-hmm. And I just want to offer to you once you know, and what you must know in order to take the inspired action, such as saying I love you, such as reaching out and trying to initiate sex after, momentum builds, the separation builds. Like, that's sex wise, intimacy wise, all the things, weight wise, right? All the things can get out of control so fast. And then it does feel like a free fall. But once you can trust that no matter their response, and once you can detach to their response, whether that be a customer, whether that be a significant other, whether that be anyone noticing that you lost a couple pounds, you must detach from everyone's response and know, I'm going to say this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to try this, because I know I will be okay. I know, independent from their reaction, whether it's only going to go better. Things are only going to go up from here because if they don't accept the love, if they don't accept the application, okay, something's better for me. And that's what you need to tell yourself. Something else is better out there for me.
Right.
Something else, the world is rigged in my favor. Something else is better out there for me. So, okay, I tried, and that does try to initiate sex. It's not like, oh, I'm shutting it down. I'm never going to try again. Like, I tried. You remember that one time 2 years ago when I tried? No, y'all. We all have our own shit going on in our head, right? So it's like, no. One, you need to give yourself a pat on the back for trying. Two, you're going to survive it.
True.
Three, they were probably caught off guard at that point, and your own self is going to be caught off guard from your effort, but just, that's okay.
Right.
Shock yourself.
Right.
Shock them. Allow, just understand it too. Like they're going to be shocked. Like your body's going to be shocked if you haven't ran and you go run. It's going to be shocked.
True enough.
Bitch, you better go though, because that 2-day soreness is for real. You better get up and walk the next day, right?
Right.
You better allow him. He didn't know you were going to initiate. Why would he know that? She didn't know you were going to initiate. Why would she know that? So much time's passed. So just allow them their space. Allow them, create that safe space for everyone to react how in which they have the capacity to react to in that moment with the information you're trying to provide to them or the offer you're trying to give, and detach. And then when he comes back or that client comes back or a new client comes in, right? Because it's all about attraction, because the happier you get, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. So you're going to start attracting better things. But right now the momentum is such that you attract not what you think about. I think you attract what you feel.
That's true. That's so true.
That helped me. Because I'm like, okay, well, I think positive. Like, oh, that's okay. Like I'm so positive thinker. I was a fucking positive thinker. So then I'm like, but am I buying my own bullshit? Am I saying these affirmations and don't believe them? It doesn't matter.
True enough.
So, because what I'm feeling is like a fraud and imposter syndrome in that affirmation. So if that's the case, I don't need to say them.
Absolutely.
It's better for me not to say that positive thing.
True enough.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but if I'm feeling it, if I'm feeling good, then I'm going to attract what I feel. So just focus on feeling good. To get unstuck, focus on prioritize your emotions. Prioritize your emotions. Take action, see how that feels, and go for it. And it just takes, it's just a little bit at a time, but before you know it, you'll be back in the swing of things. And like I said, America is forgiving. Your family and friends are forgiving. They've messed up too. And they probably have messed up, but you don't even remember about them. You don't label them as a shitty friend or a shitty person or whatever it is. Like because you gave them grace. Well, you just have to trust that will be returned. You've attracted the right people in your life that no matter where you're at in your circumstances, grace is waiting for you.
True enough.
Right?
True enough.
Encouragement is waiting for you. Inspiration is waiting for you. Growth is waiting for you. Support they're waiting for you. Like these happy moments are waiting for you. This prosperity is waiting for you. You just got to get your ass in motion so people can offer it to you. That's allowing. That's receiving. You got to be a good receiver. So get in motion so that you can receive. I'll never forget. We'll end with this. I'll never forget when when I first started real estate 6 years ago. I remember taking, I don't know, like the MLS course or something. And the trainer said, busy realtors get lucky.
Okay.
And in the personal development space, I kind of like debunked that for a bit because I'm like, okay, are you busy being busy? Are you doing impactful tasks, right? Like you got to prioritize. There's priorities. But when you're feeling stuck, just pick 3 things and pick 2 damn things. Pick 2 things today and cross that shit off your list today. Right. And then tomorrow pick 3, but never max out. Don't pick more than 3 anyways. So just so you know, especially entrepreneur, like you think you have more time than you don't. But like I debunked that. I'm like busy being busy. And now I'm like, no, that is true though. Like if you can, the bigger picture, what he was meaning was you can't just sit around and wait for life to happen for you. Right?
Sometimes you have to make your own luck.
All the time.
Yeah, true enough.
All the time. You got to create it, and you got to create it from a space of, it's all right. I'll be all right. Things are working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Not in desperation, not in destitute. You can't go out there and like be busy
like a hyena off the Lion King, like, like chomp it on the leg bone or whatever. You can't. No, you need to just know. Don't have desperation in your energy. Just like, hey, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm doing what I said I was going to do, which is a mark in the positive column. I have a positive emotional shift. I know what they need. My well-being abounds. I'm here to serve, not for a paycheck. I'm here to serve. The effect is going to be the paycheck from my service and my happiness and my gratitude to even be in this moment. So yes, busy realtors get lucky, but busy entrepreneurs, you'll get lucky. Don't hide out and isolate in a cave, right? Like even if it's Zoom, utilize all these social platforms that have come out since COVID and just amped up and amplified, like beefed up. You know what I mean? Get your ass in motion. Go to the Starbucks and work with your laptop. That's a good one. Invite a friend to lunch. That's a good one. Invite a friend for a walk if you're trying to lose weight. That's a good one, right? Invite your spouse in on these things. And then you'll see that the universe is going to support you in getting your ass back in motion, getting your ass back on track. And before you know it, this will be like a thing of the past. And in fact, I do believe that you are going through this. Nothing's done wrong. You haven't done anything wrong. It's perfect as it is. I believe that you're going through this because whether you like it or not, you wanted to. There's growth in the struggles, right?
Yeah, it's beauty. There's beauty in it.
Yes. Just, you've already grown. Your inner being's already grown. It's just waiting for you to catch back up and give yourself credit for that growth.
I heard one time you can't have a testimony without a test first. So, yeah, that's true. Drops mic.
We're ending on that one. All right, guys. Well, I just have loved having you on here.
I've loved being on here. It's just it's opened my eyes and taught me so much.
Aww.
I promise you.
Likewise.
Very beneficial. Very beneficial. I learned a lot today, Jen, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. You're awesome. This is why I came here. It's the conversation. Like you gave me several aha moments.
Indeed.
That's my shit. That's what I live for. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys, for listening. You can find my podcast and additional episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and any other major audio platforms. To watch the video from the show, you can find it on my Facebook page, which is Jennifer Litchfield, or on my YouTube channel, Jenn Litchfield. And don't forget JENN, 2 N's. If you like the message of my podcast, please go and subscribe, like, and review so we can continue spreading the message of self-love. And please go follow your girl on Instagram at Jenn Litchfield. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you next time.